For me personally, I remember thinking that God has a sense of humor because I'm from the desert, I grew up in the desert, and I remember thinking, you know, am I really going to die by drowning? Finally, about 1 or 2 in the morning, the chief called and said, okay, everybody come back to the station. By that point, it was really getting bad. We can feel the roof of the PD flexing, and the chief said, okay, as a group, what are we going to do? Are we going to leave or are we going to stay? And we all decided that we're going to stay. We trusted the building, and again, I don't think any of us really knew what was coming at that point. Eventually, the window was broken with a chair by somebody at the front, and they pushed down the boards that were covering the windows, and about 4 feet of water rushed in on us. It knocked over some of the dispatchers, some of which who couldn't swim. So we started to go out the front door holding hands, just at a single file, just to keep a hold of each other. The storm in our face, the water splashing everywhere. Knowing there was no place to go, turned and held on to a kind of I don't know what kind of tree it was, a tree that was there, kind of a bushy tree. And we rode most of the hurricane out there. The gasoline in the water was pretty intense. Eyes were stinging as you were getting cuts from debris. Tons of bugs. We were all getting eaten by ants, getting bit by spiders. Something had come out on the CNN news ticker that basically said everyone at Waveland PD had died. My girlfriend and I had moved in together shortly before the storm, actually 3 months before the storm. And I remember making a pact with God and saying, if I get out of this, I'm going to ask Brooke to marry me. And it was about 7 days later before I managed to get communications out to let her know that I was okay. She had made it up to Oklahoma, where my dad was staying. Once I was released, about 8 days into it, I actually got a vehicle, my nephew's vehicle, and made it up to Oklahoma. Was still in my nasty clothes, had, you know, nasty wounds and unshaven and unkept, and threw my arms around her and we laughed and we cried. And I said to her, I don't have a ring. As a matter of fact, I don't have anything anymore, but will you marry me?